Hey everybody, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jesse.
You're watching Tesla Time News.
Episode 441.
Well, now you know. So Max de Jager, Tesla's head of charging, posted that Tesla is currently testing this in Seattle.
What is that? Is that something to keep the Supercharger cable cooler?
No, that is DyeDefender. It releases a blue staining dye if you cut it. So the writing you see on the copper inside there is engraved at Tesla's Buffalo, New York Gigafactory with the words "property of Tesla," and recycling companies are being instructed not to accept engraved copper and to notify Tesla if someone tries to recycle it. So it looks something like this when you try and cut a DyeDefender. DyeDefender appears to be made by a company called Catstrap out of Ohio. They make all kinds of products to protect catalytic converters from being stolen and also like cables off your cars from being stolen.
So I guess this is to deter copper thieves?
I guess so, except I did a little research and there's about 2.2 pounds of copper in a Tesla Supercharger cable, and copper is going for about $4.75 a pound for recycled copper. So we're only looking at like $12 worth of copper. And I mean, if you ask me to go take a charging cable, strip it, risk going to prison, all that for $12, I don't think I would do it.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Comment down below. Would you do it?
We have seen cables destroyed before. We don't know if they were stealing them for the copper or not.
Right, or if it was just like vandalism against Tesla. But I guess even if you're not going to recycle the copper and get money from it, if you're stained blue, it'll be easy to spot you.
Holding copper that says property of Tesla on it.
All right, so what do these look like?
Those are Model Ys, the new ones.
Yeah.
Model Ys.
Yeah, those are aerial shots of the outbound lot at Giga, Texas, taken by drone pilot Joe Tegmeyer, taken last Wednesday. So we're hearing a lot of people now actually getting delivery dates for their new Model Y orders, even though they weren't expected until March.
Wow.
But here's something weird that Joe caught. Check it out. Some Model Ys were heavily camouflaged at Giga, Texas.
But we already know what the Model Y looks like.
Right. So
why are they camouflaging a car that they're already selling?
Well, my guess might be performance version.
Oh, so you think it's going to have different looks?
Maybe, because we just got confirmation from Lars during the Jay Leno garage little clip here. Take it away, Lars.
It's actually, we're starting with the launch edition, and then all of the other variants, the dual motor base edition, rear wheel drive, performance, the 7-seater options, those will come later in the year.
Confirmed. Tesla will launch the new Model Y 7-seater and new Model Y Performance later this year. So maybe these were testing versions of those Model Ys.
Maybe they won't look any different, but maybe when they test them on the test track, they don't want people to know what things they're testing and how fast they're going and so forth. I don't know. Comment down below. Do you think this was the performance version, and why would they be camouflaged? So Tesla Asia posted the first Megapack rolled off the production line at the Megafactory Shanghai and will soon ship to Australia.
So this is great news because there's a huge pent-up demand in Asia and Australia.
Yeah, the Shanghai Megafactory is expected to generate $8 to $10 billion in annual revenue when it's fully production ramped. And the price of Tesla's Megapack, which is 1.9 megawatts of power with 3.9 megawatt hours of storage, continues to drop. This is the most recent pricing from Tesla's website for California.
So what's the difference between the 4 and 2 hour Megapack?
Well, each of them has the same energy storage. The difference is how much power they can deliver.
So the 2 hour version is more powerful because it can dump that 3.9 megawatt hours in just 2 hours?
Yep. So that is $1,028,580, and that's just for one Megapack with 2 hours storage. A 4-hour storage Megapack is even cheaper at $962,350, under $1 million. And again, it's confusing because you're like, wait a minute, it has 4 hours of storage. It should be worth more. No, it's because it's all about how much power it can shove out quickly.
So the 4-hour one lasts twice as long, but it gives you the same amount of energy in that 4 hours.
It doesn't last twice as long. That's the misguided part.
It has half the power, but the same amount of energy.
It has a wimpier inverter.
Okay.
Think of it that way.
I remember just last year they cost $1,278,860 for a 2-hour Megapack.
Yeah, we're talking about $266 per kilowatt hour, and that's a big deal and a big reason why Tesla's grid-scale batteries are in such high demand. The cost of storage is getting cheaper and cheaper as more and more battery factories come online worldwide.
But hang on, I know that most of us watching don't have Megapacks on our shopping list, but that price drop is insane. I mean, can we chart this? Because my brain can't really follow all these numbers.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. First, a chart from one of our favorite sites, mainstreetdata.com. Use our code in the show notes to save on premium like we have. But There's still amazing stuff on there with a free account as well. So go check them out. This chart is Tesla's energy storage deployed from 2019 through 2024. That's an 80% CAGR, or compound annual growth rate. And as you can see here, last year, 31.4 gigawatt hours were sold.
That's more than the previous 5 years combined.
But to really understand the big picture, let's take a look at Tesla's Megapack price since 2019 in both the actual price in blue,
But more importantly, in my opinion, the price in 2025 dollars, since, let's face it, inflation has been very high during this time.
So as you can see, Megapack has effectively come down from 1.5 million to about a million, which is a 31.5% drop in price. And if you overlay these two charts from Main Street Data and this, you can see why there's such a dramatic price reduction recently. It's because Tesla has gotten the benefits of economies of scale.
But what's the huge price spike in 2023?
Well, that's the amazing part. In August of 2022, Tesla improved the Megapack, more energy capacity, so 3.9 megawatt hours versus just 3 megawatt hours, and more power throughput, 1.9 megawatts versus 0.8 megawatts. And because the world was going through supply shortages and inflation was high, Tesla raised the price to 1.9 million. But even though today's Megapack is a beefier battery than it was just a few years ago, the price drop is even more amazing.
But if the price is dropping, doesn't that mean that Tesla will make less money on Megapacks?
It's economics 101, right? Simple supply and demand curves. As the supply goes up, prices come down, but quantity goes up. So bottom line, yes, Tesla may make less money per unit, but will sell more of them as demand rises.
And due to economies of scale, they probably spend less on producing each of them, meaning that their profit might be higher.
Exactly.
Now, we'll be discussing this more on Investor Club bonus stories today, so be sure to head over to Patreon and check that out.
And thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this episode.
Depending on where you get your news, topics like Tesla, Elon, and AI can be framed as visionary or reckless.
In our search for tools that can help us dig deeper into the stories we cover here on Now You Know, we partnered with a platform that completely streamlined our research, Ground News.
Founded by a former NASA engineer, the Ground News app and website uses a data-driven approach to news analysis by taking every perspective covering a story and breaking down each source's political bias, credibility, and any financial interests behind the headline.
Like this headline, Elon Musk bashes the $500 billion AI project that Trump announced, claiming its backers don't have the money.
We've talked about this for years. Headlines from different sources can be polarizing and sensational.
Ground News ensures access to diverse and maybe even opposing viewpoints so that you can understand the stories shaping our world.
Ground News is how we got full coverage on this story.
With one click, we get a summary of this report based on more than 300 sources that Ground News found reporting on it.
And with just a quick look, we can see the breakdown of news outlets that are covering this story. You can see as of today the bias distribution, a reminder of why it's so important to diversify where we get our news.
One of the features we love is how easy it makes it to identify the reliability of information at a glance. Their factuality ratings let you see which sources are highly factual, the gold standard of journalism, and which ones lean more towards sensationalism.
It's simple to analyze how the different framings of the same story can influence a reader's perception of an issue.
If you're here watching Now You Know, you're already someone who loves digging deeper into stories about Elon, Tesla, and the latest breakthroughs in technology like AI.
That's why we think you'll love Ground News. It's the perfect way to track important developments and even see what you might be missing.
And for a limited time, you can get the same plan that we use every day for nearly half the price.
Just go to ground.news/NYK or scan this QR code to save 40% on their unlimited access Vantage plan, or gift it to someone you know to have more informed discussions on your favorite topics.
Ground News helps us stay curious, think critically, and see the bigger picture. We think you'll find them just as valuable. Thanks to Ground News for sponsoring this episode. Our scene opens in a stale federal office, the Federal Department of Retirement, somewhere in Washington, D.C.
Hold your horses, I'll be with you in a minute. What's your number?
My number?
Did you take a number?
I guess I didn't know I had to take...
So you didn't read the sign on the door, then nobody ever reads the sign.
Oh, that sign. Take a number. I see. Well, do I need to take a number? There's no one else here.
No number, no nothing.
Okay, I'll take a number. 431.
Okay, 431, what do you want?
Well, I'm a federal employee and I'm ready to retire. I was told to come to the Department of Retirement.
That's going to be Form 722W, new federal employee retirement retiree retiring from service form. You're going to need to fill that out first.
This form's like 50 pages long.
Fill it out, come back, take a number.
2 days later.
Number?
092.
Okay, 092, how can I help you?
I filled out my Form 722W. Took quite a while to fill out, I can tell you. So I think you have everything you need. I'm ready to retire.
Not so fast.
What's the problem?
Problem is the mine isn't accepting any more forms this month.
The what? The mine? I'm sorry, did you just say the mine isn't accepting any more forms this month?
Yeah, the mine, it's where we keep all the federal retirement records. Here's an informative pamphlet about it.
You were serious. The mine was built in 1955 under a mountain in Pennsylvania? I see, kind of a Cold War thing. Wouldn't want the Ruskies to get those valuable retirement records, but I still don't understand the problem.
Well, how do you think we get all those retirement forms down there? An elevator. That's how, and Stan, the elevator man, can only handle 10,000 forms a month.
So?
Well, you, my friend, happen to be number 10,092. So, you're dumb out of luck. See you next month.
Hang on. Surely you digitized these forms. It is, after all, 2025.
First of all, don't call me Shirley. My name's Fred. Second of all, we are digitizing these records, as a matter of fact. We started digitizing them a decade ago.
Great. So if my records are going to be digitized, then why do you need to keep them in a mine?
Well, we're a bit behind on digitizing them.
Oh, I see. So you need to keep the records safe until you can finish digitizing them. So how far have you gotten?
B.
I'm sorry. Did you say B? What does that mean?
B. Letter B. We've gotten up to the letter B. We've done A.
But hang on.
I hope you're not A.
Hang on. You've been digitizing these records for a decade and you've only gotten to the letter B? Good job, there. Good job there. That was a great... I haven't heard that voice in a while. Is that just because you have a cold?
It really does help that I'm sick. Okay, so why were we performing a play about retirement?
Well, because this is what Elon was working on last week. As DOGE posted, federal employee retirements are processed using paper by hand in an old limestone mine in Pennsylvania. 700 plus mine workers operate 230 feet underground to process about 10,000 applications per month, which are stored in manila envelopes and cardboard boxes. The retirement process takes multiple months.
And so Elon explained this at a presidential press conference in the Oval Office last Tuesday.
The most number of people that could retire possibly in a month is 10,000. We're like, whoa, why is that? Well, because all the retirement paperwork is manual on paper. It's manually calculated, then written down on a piece of paper. Then it goes down a mine.
So I've been actively following government, municipal, state, federal, since I was a kid. I've actually run for state government when I was 20, and I was an elected municipal government member for 24 years. And I never heard about this before. Elon gets to work, and now we are hearing about all this waste and incompetence. And instead of getting mad at the incompetence and the waste and the fraud, some people are getting mad at Elon. But most citizens in this country are actually happy that Elon's doing what he's doing, bringing all this to light. And I've been talking to a lot of people this week who don't know anything about what Elon and the DOGE teams have actually been finding out.
I wonder why.
And as more and more people do learn the truth, that approval rating is only going to climb higher.
I wonder what happens when the Mineshaft elevator breaks down.
Well, Elon said that's actually a real thing. When equipment in the mine breaks down, it takes longer to process your retirement paperwork.
I cannot believe it.
It seems like a skit we wrote. I mean, it seems like this could not be possible in any real world, or something that only took place back in the 50s.
Or that maybe a weird town does in a weird place.
Right.
But it's...
How much longer were we going to do this? Because they've actually been digitizing these records for over 10 years, and it's the truth. They've only gotten to the letter B. So were we just going to...
That's true?
That's true.
It's all true.
I didn't make that up. All this story was basically a true story. And again, I wouldn't have heard about it if Elon hadn't presented it.
I want to urge you to go watch the 20-minute press conference with Elon standing in the Oval Office.
Find one that's unedited, though, because on a lot of them, for instance, on NBC, they started talking over Elon and then cut to commercial while he was talking. This is a presidential press conference, mind you.
Right. Now, maybe they're going to have commercial breaks. That's fine. But pause the stream.
I've never seen a presidential press conference where you cut to commercial.
I mean, pause it. Cut to stream, come back, and play where you left off.
Right.
Maybe. But that's not what they did.
No, they actually talked over him. As soon as he started talking,
can you believe what he's
Elon's talking about something here. And,
just watch the whole thing. Just take 20 minutes. Just actually do it.
Yeah, we'll try and find one that's unedited and put the link in the
because I thought it was really good. It was just it's all understandable, which is really nice. Normally you'd think that government is like, well, so subsection 4B 829 section 12. And it's like, well, you know, I don't know any of that legalese. There was no legalese. It was all very understandable to a normal human being. And I really appreciated that.
But you know what? I think we need to retreat to the green room, take a little nap after that exhausting play.
So let's have two of our amazing editors, Jasper and Brian, who just visited Daytona, Florida. Take it away.
Hey, Zach and Jesse. I am here in Daytona Beach, Florida, and today I'm checking out the ABB and NASCAR partnership where they are promoting electrification and the sustainability in the racing industry.
We launched the ABB NASCAR Electrification Partnership. We're looking at exploring what would the future of electric racing look like in the United States, also the electrification infrastructure it takes to do that, and energy education.
We have a corporate goal of net zero operating emissions by 2035. So that's all the energy that we're burning and consuming at racetracks like these and 15 across the country, as well as the mobile fleet that we operate. And so our partnership with ABB, so ABB is our first official NASCAR Impact partner, which is awesome for us. And one way we do that is through the ABB NASCAR EV prototype. And this is one way where we can invite fans to learn more about electrification and some of the work we're doing, both on the sustainability side, but also on racing competition side.
At the NASCAR R&D Center, we deal with all three national series, so the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, and the Truck Series. What we also get to do is some pretty cool projects, such as our ABB NASCAR EV prototype that you see behind us. I grew up racing motocross with my family and my brothers, and when we were at 18, 19, we put our money together and bought a rear-wheel drive car and started messing around and having fun. And we found out that drifting was an actual sport. We got involved almost immediately, and it's been 20, 22, 23 years later, and I'm still doing it. This chassis is based off of our next-gen car that we run in the Cup Series. So using that foundation, we had to figure out where we were gonna package the battery. On this car specifically, we have it on the right-hand side of the car. It's a little bit different than your traditional skateboard-style battery. So we put it on the right-hand side of the car, but when we put it on the right-hand side of the car, you have to figure out weight balance. It's completely different in the sense that we're driving a vehicle that's built for one discipline, and we're not trying to do that in another discipline. So all the drift cars that we have are all purpose-built drift cars for drifting. So driving the ABB NASCAR EV prototype for drifting is a bit of a handful and a challenge that is extremely fun. And the performance of the electrification is absolutely insane. So there's one motor in the front and two in the rear. It's really easy to change the torque split on where if you want more in the front or more in the rear. I'm slowly adjusting to it and learning how to drive it a little bit better each time. So the tunability of an electric powertrain is amazing. You're able to get what the driver wants, but also help compensate for the vehicle design decisions that were made. So it's been an awesome experience to kind of tune that and looking at data and seeing exactly how we can optimize our run times, how we can optimize the driver's performance with regen. So it's been a really cool experience for us.
For our next generation who may be in middle school right now, see this car and go, hey, that's pretty cool. And then they get inspired by STEM because we need electrical engineers, we need mechanical engineers. The National Electrical Contractor Association says we need 70,000 electrical contractors a year for the next 10 years in the United States. That's a lot of talent that we need to install this gear and keep the United States competitive.
Today we unveiled 30 new level 2 ABB chargers in partnership with Florida Power and Light at our headquarters across the street. So these chargers will be available for NASCAR employees to use. If they bring their EV to work, they can charge during the workday, free gas essentially. And this is one of the first projects that we're working on with ABB as we look across our tracks to install EV charging infrastructure so we can begin the conversion of our fleet vehicles over to electric models.
All that is just scratching the surface for what happened this weekend in Florida. Look for an upcoming in-depth episode coming out soon. Now you know.
Thank you, Jasper, in front of the camera, and Brian behind the camera. Amazing work. Can't wait to learn more.
You know what I think might be fun? Why don't we see if Jasper and Brian can join us on a live stream with our patrons where we can hang out, ask some questions, and learn more about what they learned.
Okay, let's see if we can make that happen. Just another amazing perk for our amazing Patreon patrons. I'm jealous. It just looks so warm and sunny down in Florida.
It did. Hey, but they missed out because I plowed our driveway this weekend with the Model Y, 7 inches of wet, heavy snow, and then sub-freezing temperatures, so you missed all that. So Tesla app updates posted something they found in the latest Tesla app software code. They said, I'm thrilled to announce the very first lines of robotaxi code are here. The first endpoint implemented is a feedback screen that allows users to rate the cleanliness of the vehicle and upload photos. The endpoint is named Rides Feedback Upload. The future is coming soon.
The system goes online on August 4th, 1997.
And remember what Elon said during the Tesla Q4 earnings call.
These Teslas will be in the wild with no one in them in June in Austin. So what I'm saying is this is not some far off mythical situation. It's literally 5-6 months away, 5 months away kind of thing. That is so exciting because if they're putting in the code, that means they're really getting ready.
Definitely.
All right, it's time for Cybertruck Roundup.
Yeehaw! The Cybertruck Roundup.
And in the big deal about nothing category, according to Sawyer Merritt on February 12th, and again, nothing against Sawyer, he's just posting some news, the U.S. government is currently planning to award Tesla a $400 million contract to buy armored Teslas. The State Department's most recent procurement forecast, updated in December 24, names Tesla as the recipient of the largest projected contract. The anticipated award date is 30th of September with a 5-year contract length. Then he updated it saying it's worth noting that this procurement forecast was revised in December of 2024 when Biden was still president. The Tesla line item was last modified on December 13th. He followed it up on the 13th by saying, update, the U.S. government has edited the public procurement forecast document tonight, and it now no longer says the word Tesla. Instead, it now says armored electric vehicles. The contract amount is still listed as being $400 million. Other details are the same.
But then Elon said, I'm pretty sure Tesla isn't getting $400 million. No one mentioned it to me, at least.
S.E. Robinson Jr. said, maybe Biden had a sweet spot for you after all.
And Elon said, unlikely. But Elon is such a fraudster because Trump is going to give him $400 million for armored Teslas.
And that's what so many people missed in this story, which is that this was all taking place during the Biden administration. So if there's any fraud going on, that's where it took place. But the thing is, if you do want to buy an armored vehicle, I think it's one of the cheapest ones out there because otherwise you have to custom armor it.
It's true.
So we just released our interview with the co-founder and CEO of Lightship, Toby Kraus, over on our Disruptive Investing channel.
Lightship is an electric RV with its own battery pack and motors that gets rid of the range anxiety that EV owners have while towing an RV.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's kind of like the old-fashioned high-low trailers that can go low behind your car and then up high when they park. It has a 10-foot high ceiling when it's in high mode, when it's in like regular mode. Lots of cool stuff here, and I learned a lot talking to them. And honestly, I didn't think this was real because like I've heard about it. We've all kind of heard about Lightship, but actually getting to talk to their founder and CEO really made it real for me. So
we hope you'll check out the whole interview on Disruptive Investing. The link is down in the show notes.
So adaptive matrix headlights is an exciting new technology. Coming soon to a Tesla near you.
So first approved by NHTSA in 2021, only a few vehicle models in the US have them currently.
Yeah, so currently it's pretty much only the Tesla Highland Model 3, the Model Y Juniper, although I've heard that some of the 2023, 24, 25 Model Ys might have the actual headlights and just need a software update to get it. Also Model S and X, since I think the 2021 refresh have it as well. Rivian R1Ts and the R1S since 2024 have it as well. So as we learned from Franz and Lars' appearance on Jay Leno's Garage.
Cool thing about the headlights, they're matrix style headlights, so they have the ability to change their, their beam pattern. And we're going to launch in a couple of months, right after we start delivering automatic adaptive driving beams. So first in the US, when other cars are coming at you, the lights will turn off to the oncoming traffic so they don't get blinded.
And to see an example of this, it's a bit hard to see, but in this picture, you can see a vehicle approaching in the distance. Now, as the cameras on the Tesla see this car coming within range from their cameras, the individual LED pixels on the headlights where that car is shut off.
And you can see that in this second picture with the red circle, there's a dark area around the oncoming car, so that driver is not blinded, yet the rest of the headlights stay on.
Yeah, this is really cool stuff. Dan Berkland said, my concern is the stricter U.S. regulations might require different hardware.
But Lars gave a Valentine's Day present.
We got it this time, D. Berkland. We'll start with the new Model Y and work our way to the others. We got through the difficult work. So that's awesome. So I guess software update, it's coming.
That's awesome.
And again, it's not like, it doesn't seem like a huge feature, like you're not going to buy the car because of it maybe, but it is going to make all the roads safer for everybody.
Because now you're going to be able to keep your high beams on, not blind the oncoming traffic, but potentially see stuff that's, happening on your periphery.
Exactly. And while we have Lars with us, how about tell us about the side repeater camera on the new refreshed Model Y?
Similarly, we got this little lip here on the edge of the side repeater. That's actually to self-clean the camera. Okay. So it creates an eddy current in the air. It comes up and it flows over and it cleans that camera and makes sure that there's no water getting on the camera there.
So a self-cleaning lip. I'm really interested to see how that actually works.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know that eddy currents are enough to clean the glass, but maybe, I don't know. I won't be negative till I see it. All right, it's time for SpaceX news, and Elon posted Starlink now available in Bhutan. Comment down below how many of you could actually find it on a map, because I couldn't find it until I really worked at it. Elon then said Starship is the largest and most powerful flying object by far, and this picture kind of reinforces that. Those are people.
And that's just the bottom.
Exactly.
That's just up to the bottom flaps.
Back in December, we reported that Elon had petitioned for Starbase to become an actual incorporated city in Texas.
Well, now Cameron County Judge Eddie Trevino Jr. has signed the order finding satisfactory proof to support the requirements for Starbase to become an incorporated city.
All right, so what's next?
There will be an election held on May 3rd in Brownsville, Texas. If passed by a majority of the residents of Starbase, then Starbase will become the latest city in the county, the first new city in 30 years.
And Elon posted, Starbase, Texas will soon be an official new city. Yep, so they just got to pass that election. I'm not sure who the people are that vote. I'm not sure where the boundaries are, but I do hear that the election will be held in Brownsville. Good luck. Palladium magazine posted, launch windows when planets are positioned most efficiently for travel have always been part of mission planning. We might soon enter an era where there is no wasted launch window.
Elon said there will be no wasted launch window.
What does that mean?
That would mean that there would be at least one rocket using every launch window to get to...
But launch window to what?
Mars.
Get your ass to Mars.
Oh, to Mars.
Probably Mars.
Right, because it's only every 2 years roughly that it's in a great launch position.
Yes.
I see, gotcha. All right, it's time for Into the Future, sponsored by our friends at Henson Shaving. Neither of us have shaved in a while.
Neither of us shaved in a while, but I do have to thank Henson Shaving for that. I couldn't really grow a beard before I started using my Henson razor, and that's because, I don't know, the other razors were just doing a very bad job of making my face happy. So if you suffer from any kind of shaving problems, definitely give Henson Shaving a try. If you use our code at checkout, you can get 100 blades for free, and each one's double-sided, so that's 200 shaves for free. Just use our code NowYouKnow at checkout.
So on Valentine's Day, Optimus posted on its X channel,
said, wish me luck. Is Optimus dating now?
Maybe that new Roomba in the accounting department?
Pretty lonely world for a robot.
And Elon posted on X last Saturday, Grok 3 release with live demo on Monday night at 8 p.m. Pacific. So that was last night. He says it's the smartest AI on Earth. And I think there's been a bit of a split with people going on right now that kind of follows other technological splits from the recent past.
Splits?
Well, what I mean is when a new technology comes along, there are usually early adopters, right? A smallish group, usually about 1/8 of the population that starts using that new technology right away. Like for instance, with the cell phone or brick phones that started appearing in the 1980s, it seemed like only business people in a hurry had them. Then they got smaller, cheaper, and more people adopted them.
Yeah, I mean, flip phones in the late 90s and early 2000s.
And then there came the iPhone that came out in 2007 and more people adopted them. But there were still plenty of people who were like,
I don't need a smartphone. Why would I need a lighter app?
And then fast forward to today, and pretty much everyone uses a smartphone. So going back to Grok 3, I think that LLMs are such a new technology. I mean, ChatGPT only first hit the scene on November 30th of 2022. So most people have only had access for a little over a year. It's so new that many people, even watching the show, only have a cursory understanding of what Grok is and what it can do. I mean, if we take me, for example, because of my job here on Tesla Time News, I kind of forced myself to use it.
Just do it!
But after the initial, that's neat, after trying ChatGPT version 1, I was like, well, I'm not in high school writing term papers. And after having it write a couple poems, I was like, this isn't that useful.
Because it wasn't trustworthy or accurate with its research capabilities in the beginning.
But then Grok 1 came out in March of 2024, and it was a real step change. And I started using it pretty much every day. Everything from how to operate software to what's that movie directed by such and such to research for the show. Then Grok 2 came out in August, and it was another improvement. In fact, it's gotten to the point where I don't think I could give up having such a powerful tool at my fingertips. So I've been testing Grok against Gemini Advanced 1.5 Pro with deep research. That's from Google. And honestly, Grok wins almost every time. I mean, Grok is faster, more accurate, with less hallucinations.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of Gemini is that it's going to take like 15 minutes. It's going to go look on the internet for all sorts of sources, and we've sent it to go do stuff that like we know the answers to, like, you know, electric car sales. And Gemini will come back and be like, here is this super duper long report. Why don't you read it? It's 20 pages long. And you're like, okay, cool. Hey, you don't have any data in this report. This report that's supposed to be on EV sales. It's like, we don't have any data. It's like, what are you talking about? Why does Grok have the data? I mean, Grok will literally in 10 seconds be like, well, here's the data you were looking for.
Yep.
And you'll be like, oh, that's pretty accurate. Maybe you're missing one or two sources, but it's pretty accurate compared to Gemini, where it just goes like, could not find.
Yep.
Crazy. I'm really curious about how many people are using Grok.
Well, that's our Patreon poll question this week. If you'd like to take part in our weekly Patreon polls, please join us on Patreon. We'll share the results later in the show.
Comment down below if you use Grok or any other LLM regularly.
If you aren't using AI as a tool, first, I'll say there is a bit of a learning curve on how to use it effectively.
It's mainly about knowing how to prompt it to get what you want from it.
I believe for the next few years at least, it will become one of the most important skills you can have. So if you don't use AI, start. I recommend Grok. How about you?
Oh, definitely. Grok would definitely be one of the fastest and easiest ones to pick up. I would use it for any problem that you run into in your life.
Right.
If it has to do with computers, that's an easy one. If you're like, oh, when I plug in a thing on my computer, it used to pop up with a box and now it doesn't. What do I do? Well, normally, how would you Google that? Right. You'd have to know what the right term was. Oh, it's the auto start function, and here's how you find it. Grok, you can just be like, what's this thing? And Grok will be like, oh, it's this. It's what Google really should have turned into, but didn't.
Right.
And Grok does an excellent job at it.
You can get to Grok in two ways. One is through a premium subscription to X for $8 a month. You can also try Grok for free at grok.com with 10 queries every 2 hours. But to go beyond that, you'll need an X account. And I'm really excited about Grok 3. I can't wait to use it. Here is an example of some of its newest abilities from the reveal event.
All right, so this was the little physics problem we had. And then we see Grok's answer below that. So it explains, it wrote a Python script here using matplotlib, then gives us all of the code. So let's take a quick look at the code. Seems like it's doing reasonable things here. Solve Kepler says here, so maybe it's solving Kepler's law numerically. Yeah, there's really only one way to find out if this thing is working. I'd say let's give it a try. Let's run the code. Mm-hmm. All right, and we can see, Grok is animating two different planets, Earth and Mars here, and then the green ball is the vehicle that's transiting, the spacecraft that's transitioning between Earth and Mars. You could see the journey from Earth to Mars, and looks like, yeah, indeed, the astronauts returned safely, at the right moment in time.
Been running on this platform called Chatbot Arena for 2 weeks, and plays the interface where the user will submit one single query, and you get to show two responses. You don't know which model they come from, and in the end, you make the vote. So in this blind test, Grok 3, an early version of Grok 3, already reached like 1,400. No other models has reached an ELO score, head-to-head comparison to all the other models at this score. It's 1,400 aggregated across all the categories in chatbot capabilities, instruction following, coding. So it's number one across the board in this blind test.
And it's still climbing, so we actually have to keep updating it. So it's 1,400, about 1,400 and climbing.
Yeah, and in fact, we have a version of the model that we think is already much better than the one that we tested here.
We'd love to hear how you've used AI in the comments below.
Jesse and I have been programming with Grok 2, and I can't wait to see how Grok 3 handles software coding and if Grok really is the smartest AI on Earth.
Elon said, we'll be honing product with the team all weekend, so offline until then.
He was offline for like 6 hours, but then he got back to X right away. All right, it's time for Going Green. So during the World Government Conference in Dubai last Wednesday, Elon announced a partnership between the Dubai government and The Boring Company to build the Dubai Loop.
Elon said, excited to announce that a Dubai Loop will be built by The Boring Company. So something like the Las Vegas Loop that The Boring Company built and is continuing to expand?
Well, what we know so far is that the initial phase will start with 11 stations and 17 kilometers. It's being designed by a company called URB. And by 2040, it's planned to be 93 kilometers, that's 58 miles long, and should connect more than 3 million residents of Dubai, integrating key locations like hotels and fitness centers to make daily life easier and healthier. Dubai wants the primary mode of transportation to be cycling or walking for 80% of Dubai's residents by 2040, and Dubai wants to become a 20-minute city where essential amenities are accessible within a 20-minute walk or bike ride.
So it sounds like the Dubai Loop will be a lot like the Las Vegas Loop with autonomous EVs, probably cybercabs, transporting people in the tunnels.
Yeah, here's the CEO CEO of URB, Baharesh Bagarian.
The loop in Dubai, which has caught the imaginations of so many people across the world. Imagine living in a city that's been built primarily for cars. I live in Dubai, I'm a proud resident, and I can tell you, if you want to travel within Dubai, your primary means of transport is by car travel. In fact, it's almost impossible to take a 10-minute, let alone just a 20-minute cycle ride in the city itself, because actually our infrastructure when it comes to cycling is so little, and even if you wanted to do that in the summer, it's going to be extremely uncomfortable. So I think what we need to do is to really think and shift our mindsets when it comes to urban mobility, and to really think about the needs of the people and what makes it more convenient and comfortable, and how we could do that in a bold new way so it addresses many different issues. So it's no longer about getting people from A to B using more sustainable modes of transport, but how could we also address food security? How could we also bring more services and amenities to neighborhoods that don't have them? How could we approach developments in such a holistic way that we could address so many challenges with one project?
So here's a proposed map of where the loop will run, so kind of all around the city. And then this is the infrastructure. So you can see in the bottom there that those two tubes are labeled Hyperloop. I'm not sure if those are going to be like high-speed actual Hyperloops or the slower Cybercab tunnels. My guess is the Cybercab tunnels, but maybe they're going to be Hyperloops.
I mean, if you look at this map, there are some straightaway sections, but they're not that long. Hyperloop is generally, I mean,
for distance,
theoretically, because no one's built one yet, but it's supposed to be, yeah, for long distance, you're supposed to get up to like, 800 miles an hour in a tube.
I mean, it's really cool, this vision. I don't know if it'll take place. I mean, they obviously have the money for it if they want to do it. And the biggest problem, if you think about Dubai, is that on a nice summer day, you cannot go cycling or walking. It is too hot. And so you have to be in some kind of covered structure.
And so the idea is that they're going to build essentially two tubes. I'm assuming they're going in opposite directions. And then this big, cool, glassy thing that you walk through.
That's going to have sustainable farming and all sorts of things in it. Could be really cool.
Cool. Which is funny because you could do this in a regular place without having to build a giant glass dome.
Exactly.
Because it's not going to be 110 degrees.
Totally. It'd be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, interesting.
All right, it's time for Sunspots. So Tesla's director, Brad Harbidge, just inked a deal with Puerto Rico's power utility Genera PR to bring 430 megawatts, that's 1.7 gigawatt hours, of Tesla Megapacks to help stabilize Puerto Rico's electricity grid.
These new Megapacks should be online by the end of this year.
Puerto Rico is mainly powered right now by 20 diesel and gas power plants located around the island.
Back in November of 2023, there were 9 BES, or battery electric storage systems, approved, and Tesla will be providing the Megapacks for all of them.
Very nice.
Ivan Baez, the VP of Corporate Affairs at Genera PR, said, "This is a fundamental step towards the modernization of Puerto Rico's electrical system. The installation of these BSS units will ensure greater stability and responsiveness of the grid, helping us to address both energy demand and unforeseen events in the system. In addition, the integration of this advanced technology will help reduce the need to resort to more expensive and less efficient units, generating significant savings." That is good news because, as we've heard repeatedly, people in Puerto Rico have constant blackouts and brownouts. And if you'd like to get solar or batteries in your house, but you have so many questions like so many of us do, talk to our friends at Energy Pal. They have all the answers and they'll talk to you and give them all to you for free. Tell them that Zach and Jesse sent you.
The link is down below.
All right, it's time for our video contributor stories. We need your stories. Send them to us 2 minutes or less. Shoot them in landscape or Jesse gets mad. And make sure there's no music or wind noise. What do we got this week?
So Douglas in Canada found a hardware 3 bug. Let's check it out.
Okay, occasionally the car has actually gone through the red light. So I'm not sure if it sees the walk sign change, but let's see what happens this time. There it goes, I caught it. So I'm in FSD was, and there was the walk sign, now it's green. So that's the third time it's done the red light with the walk sign. And the one before, just that at the same intersection, it stopped at the red and continued on, even though it was red, so I had to stop it again. So that's 3 times it tried to run the red light. So this is definitely a problem with version 12. Version 12.6.1, so we'll need a .2 fix soon. Thanks.
Okay, I was looking in the wrong place. So over on the right where there's the, the hand walk sign, when it turns green for the walkers,
it doesn't even turn green, it turns white.
Right, but it looks green, I guess. Well, it looked green here to me, but
yeah.
So the car gets confused. Well, I mean, these are the edge cases that we talk about, right? Where it's going to have to be trained.
And I mean, this is on hardware 3. I'm curious to see if hardware 4 would be able to do that.
This is really good because we're going to be talking about other countries where FSD is this week. All right, it's time for Patreon bonus stories. Head on over there for a bunch of cool stories this week, every week. You get those for as little as $1 a month, and you help support the show. Because let me just be honest with you. If we were to rely on YouTube, we wouldn't have stopped the show probably back at episode 150 or something. So thank you to our patrons who keep this show going. We'll see you there. All right, we're back from the Patreon bonus stories, but it's time for the Patreon poll, and we asked people,
have you used Grok in the past few months? And surprisingly, a lot of our patrons, 61%, have been using Grok.
Yeah, a lot of cool comments about what they've been able to do with Grok. I'm not surprised that 40% haven't, but I think probably our patrons use it more than most, and so I'm betting that out there in the world, I'm guessing it's probably more like 50-50 or 40-60.
It's lower than that.
Really think so?
For the average person?
Yeah, that's a good point.
For the average, it's going to be like 1% if you're lucky.
Right. Yeah, it's really interesting. All right, it's time for Elon's X's of the Week.
Now, those of us who have followed Elon know that Elon goes wherever he is needed, sleeping on the floor of factories if necessary.
Well, this week, Elon has been busy fixing America's problems, and so, in true Elon style, he has apparently moved to Washington, D.C., working out of both the Eisenhower Executive Office Building and the Roosevelt Room at the White House.
So, let's get into what Elon has been posting for the past week.
Ashley St. Clair says, what the do you think Elon Musk is going to do with your social security number? Tweet it? Open a line of credit you don't have?
Elon said, seriously, and for damn sure I'm 1,000% more trustworthy than untold numbers of deep state bureaucrats and fraudsters who may be misusing your social security number right now.
Senator Mike Lee says, on no planet does DOGE want to take away anyone's social security check, and on no planet is violence warranted by what DOGE is actually trying to do: stop waste, fraud, and abuse in government.
Elon says, I can't emphasize this enough. The goal of auditing the Social Security Administration is to stop the extreme levels of fraud taking place so that it remains solvent and protects the social security checks of honest Americans. That's it. That's the goal. End of story.
Homar's catalog says Tesla's full self-driving supervised 13.2.7 took me from Oakland Airport to San Francisco, crossing the Bay Bridge, and I never touched the steering wheel or pedals once.
Elon said it, and it only gets better from here. Tesla is still on track to launch autonomous ride-hailing in Austin in June and roll out to many cities in America by the end of this year. The threshold is achieving safety far in excess of the average human driver. Ultimately, autonomous cars will be greater than 1,000% safer than human-driven cars.
Elon said, at this point, I'm 100% certain that the magnitude of the fraud in federal entitlements, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, welfare, disability, etc., exceeds the combined sum of every private scam you've ever heard by far. It's not even close. Captain Mark Kelly says what President Trump and Elon Musk are doing to USAID will make America less safe in the long run. Feeding people in need, stopping outbreaks of disease, and preventing wars are all in our best interest.
Elon says, Mark, why do you just do what you're told? When we speak in person, you talk like a human, not an NPC, but then you, or your intern, post stuff like this, and you always vote Democrat even when it's against the interests of your constituents.
Health posted, Elon, do you still remember the first city on Mars, Terminus, which was personally named by you? Because we all aspire to colonize Mars in our lifetime, we are all waiting for you to tell us when Terminus will begin construction, how it will be built, and approximately how long it will take.
Elon said 20 to 30 years, contingent on civilization maintaining an upward trend.
The Rabbit Hole posted, the current freakout is the constitutional crisis.
Elon says they need to mix it up a little bit more. Maybe use a thesaurus or something.
Mario Nafal says Pentagon burns taxpayer cash, $1,300 per coffee cup, 8,000% markup on soap dispensers.
Elon said it's not even a good soap dispenser.
Elon posted that Reuters was paid millions of dollars by the U.S. government for large-scale social deception. That is literally what it says on the purchase order. They're a total scam. Just wow.
Well, no, they were just paid for a large-scale social deception. That's a normal thing that a government pays a media company for. I mean, if you want to buy large-scale,
I'd like a social deception, please.
Reuters received far more money than this from U.S. government organizations, but via various subsidiaries and intermediaries to hide how they were getting it. This is just what DOGE has found so far. And then he said the current paper down a Mineshaft retirement system will be digital within a month or so. Oh, so it takes the federal government 12 years to get to B, and Elon says he can do it in a month. Elon posted details of cost savings will be posted here at the Department of Government Efficiency website. It has gone live. It is doge.gov. I've already checked it out. It's a little sparse at the moment, but it's growing quick. And Elon says
it will improve rapidly over time.
Elon posted, what if I get EDS too?
And he doesn't mean Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. He means Elon derangement syndrome.
Elon posted, wearing my tech support shirt today. What more proof could they possibly need? And Elon says, have you tried turning the government off and on again?
Hello, IT? Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Elon then posted, I've had a top secret clearance for many years and have clearances that themselves are classified. That said, far too much information is made classified. If something is easily found online or patently obvious, it should not be classified. This impedes effective communication within the government, said the guy who has rocket level classified. Elon said, it is astounding how much taxpayer money can be saved with even a small amount of effort. And then he went on to say the legacy media were all being paid off by USAID. Elon posted the logic flow diagram for the Social Security system looks insane. No one person actually knows how it works. The payment files that move between Social Security and Treasury have significant inconsistencies that are not reconciled. It's wild. According to the Social Security database, these are all the numbers of people in each age bucket with the death field set to false. Maybe Twilight is real and there are a lot of vampires collecting Social Security.
Wait, those are the ages? So, I mean, I know that there's people who are 100 years old. I think the world record holder currently is 116.
Okay, so do the math there at the bottom.
So there's 12,428,120 people in this country over the age of 119 years old.
Yeah, really healthy people in this country. Haven't you bumped into them all the time? There's a 300-year-old.
We have a 300-year-old in this country.
Yeah.
He's about as old as this country.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. We should go talk
to him. And he must have talked to George Washington.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
How cool is this?
Yes.
I mean, thank goodness you have Elon poking around the government.
Yeah.
How else would we know that we have people who are tricentennials?
It's crazy. It's really crazy.
What a miracle. Or we have 12 million
people
Social
getting
Security numbers.
checks.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Who are definitely dead.
Yes.
It does make you question once you start going into the 90-year-olds. It's not like everybody lives till they're 100.
No.
So how about the people who said that they're 90 and are collecting Social Security?
Yep.
How about the people who say that they're 80, the 70? I'm not saying
Any age.
Yeah. I mean, it's like because they could die and you could just keep paying them.
Well, as Elon said, as a friend of mine described it, this is like an amazing puzzle uncovering the secrets of an ancient civilization that went extinct, except it's still around.
Homar's catalog says, congrats, Doge, on 4.20 million followers.
Elon said they grow up so fast. Elon then posted, for some reason, I find the history of Genghis Khan particularly interesting. Interesting. I wonder if he's going to get a horse. All right, it's time for Community Mail Time.
Community Mail Time.
David spotted this at the Las Vegas showroom. That is a new Model Y.
Nice. We're going to start spotting them everywhere soon.
Yes, we are.
Barry spotted this green wrap Model Y in Sunnyvale, California.
Simon spotted a Cybertruck and an Optimus at the mall in Worcester, Massachusetts, along with this gold-wrapped one that he saw out on the street.
Christian spotted this orange Cybertruck up in Castleman, Ontario, Canada.
Danny spotted this Cybertruck. You're going to have to guess where. So here are the three pictures. Should be more than enough information.
Should it?
I mean, anyone who's good at GeoGuessr is going to know based on the painting of the curb.
Mexico?
It is in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
No way.
So there is
another one in Africa.
Is in Ethiopia as we speak.
How do you get service?
You don't. Just don't break it.
And how do you get new windshield wipers?
You
Amazon.
Pay a guy and he brings it to you, I guess.
Yuri spotted this Model Y on the road in Palo Alto, California. Wait, that's a new one.
Yep.
Wow. It's probably a Tesla employee, don't you think? Palo Alto.
Palo Alto. Christopher got some shots of the Tesla diner going up.
Oh, wow. That is a big screen.
Yes, that's the second screen.
I kind of feel sorry for the people who live in the apartment building behind it.
Well, then we're going to get much privacy anymore.
I guess so.
So it's kind of a blessing.
I've watched that movie 16 times today.
But only that one part.
Garrett went to go visit the Robotaxi at the Scottsdale Mall, but saw the new Model Y instead. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Julia spotted this at Cars and Coffee in Lafayette, Colorado.
Is that a VW Rabbit?
1982. They've converted it to electric.
That's awesome. Pete spotted these EV delivery vans for rent at IKEA in Australia, which are charged from the solar on the roof of the building.
So that's pretty
I
cool.
want to rent one.
I know, right? Brian spotted this cyber tent at a campground at Pinnacles National Park in Central California.
Nice. Daryl gave his buddy Jim a ride in his Cyber Beast.
He said, I've never seen him with such a big smile.
Oh, that's awesome.
Caroline and Sean got to check out the new Model Y.
You can only totally see the headlights already. Here we go. They moved Optimus. Wow, that looks so weird and different.
What I like about it is that there's the light bar in front, and that is, I think it has more ceiling, and there's this new part up here that you can pull out that has the new lights that automatically turn on. This might be the car to get.
Thanks, Caroline and Sean. And the Belzer spotted this Subaru Solterra. They are rare.
That's a rare find. Congratulations.
And have we got an EV tip of the week?
We do. Mike wrote in to remind everyone about this, which is that if you want to, you can turn on basically save dash cam on honk.
How's that work again?
So, I mean, normally you're driving around, something like really sketchy happens, and you probably beep at the person. And then
and it automatically records it.
Right. Normally you'd like forget to hit the special little button on the screen that records the dash cam footage. But if it's on honk, then you have this nice big button right in the center of the steering wheel that'll activate it for you.
And it goes back in time too, right? You get like the last 15 seconds?
Records the last 10 minutes, actually.
Oh, great.
So yeah, if at any point you honk, it's going to basically record the last 10 minutes along with, I think it's just, it stops recording then.
Oh, so it's mainly to go back in time.
Yes, but you'll get that last 10 minutes. So
Then just wait 10 minutes and honk again.
You could do that, yes.
All right, it's time for Supercharger Reviews. This is where you guys go out in the world and tell us what's going on with superchargers.
Hi, Zach and Jesse. Jack and Jean here again, taking a look at the charging station at 1841 University Drive in Vista, California.
Yeah. It's not directly off the highway. It's pretty close, but you do have to make a few turns. It is close to quite a few shopping centers, but it is kind of well tucked away and hidden behind some shopping centers. It's a 20 stall, 250
kilowatt,
250 kilowatt chargers.
Yep.
How would you rate this, Jack?
Again, Jean and I have never actually charged at a Tesla charging station yet. But I'm going to give this one a 6 because it's kind of hidden and out of the way.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I would either give it a 5 or 6. I'll go with 6 just because there are places here. And as you can tell, we are really waiting for our Cybertruck, so we're checking out charging stations near us. And we just thought we'd do a review. But anyway.
All right, Zach, Jesse, thanks a lot for having us, and talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Zach and Jesse. I'm here in Iowa, Louisiana, just east of Lake Charles, right off of Interstate 10. The Supercharger here is a 16 stall, 250 kilowatt capability. It's right behind Henry's Travel Plaza. That's about the only thing within walking distance. Good bathroom facilities, different food. I tried something called boudin, which apparently is pork and rice. Very good, very tasty. So for convenience and good bathrooms and good food, I'm gonna give this a solid 7 out of 10. Now you know.
Hi, Zach and Jesse. I'm here in Uttoxeter in the UK at the brand new, opened yesterday, I think, EV Point ultra fast charging station. Which uses Tesla version 4 superchargers. There are 8 of them. I'm the only person here. Getting a charging rate of 90 kilowatts at the moment. I think it should be a 250 kilowatt rated charging station, so I'm not sure where that is. I didn't precondition and I'm probably about 30% state of charge already, so maybe that's why there's nobody else here. There's a Burger King here, there's a Starbucks just over there, and an Asda supermarket, which is a UK supermarket chain with a petrol station, gas station for it. So I would give this it's in a good location, quite useful to have a supercharger option here. The price is displayed as well, which is the first time I've seen that at a supercharger, 65 pence per kilowatt hour. It's a bit more than Tesla would charge at a supercharger, I think. But so I give this an 8 out of 10. Now you know.
Hey, Zach and Jesse, this is Brian. I'm reporting on a supercharging station in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. It's an 8-stall station on Haddonfield Road just off of Route 70 at a Wawa convenience store. It's been recently upgraded with the Magic Dock for those EVs with CCS ports. While you're there, you can get your tires pumped up and hop into the Wawa for a beverage and a sandwich. If you prefer, however, you can walk next door for breakfast or lunch at the First Watch restaurant. Across the street, there's a Cheesecake Factory and a Barnes & Noble bookstore. Thankfully, there's a traffic light and a crosswalk, so it's easy to get to. There are other stores too. There's a Nordstrom and Talbot's, and a Home Depot, a Best Buy, and a Wegmans grocery store, and a separate liquor store, because that's how they do things in New Jersey. I gave this station an 8 out of 10 for its location and convenience. Now, if they added a roof to cover over their electric chargers like they do for the gas pumps, then it would be a 10. Now you know.
Thank you so much for doing Supercharger reviews. We have them all on a map on our website, nowyouknowchannel.com. You can upload yours there. It's really nice because you can see what the Superchargers actually look like on the ground.
What do we got for new Superchargers in the world, though?
We got number 84 in Virginia, is the 8-stall version 4 in Fredericksburg at Falcon Drive, Virginia.
Got number 40 in Michigan, the 12-stall version 4 in Brighton, Michigan.
Number 72 in Washington is the 12-stall version 4 in Seattle.
Got number 9 in Romania, the 12-stall version 4 in Buzău, Romania.
We have an expansion from 14 to 16 stalls version 4 in Holland-Triol, Austria.
We have number 213 in France, the 12-stall version 4 in Paris.
The expansion from 12 to 16 stall version 4 in Stavanger Nord, Norway.
Number 148 in Norway is the 11-stall version 4 in Brooklynshire East, Norway.
Number 93 in New Jersey is the 8-stall version 4 in Belmar, New Jersey.
Number 178 in the UK is the 8-stall version 4 EV on the Move in Barnstable, UK.
An expansion from 4 to 12 stalls version 4 in Brock, Germany.
Number 33 in Alabama is the 12-stall version 4 in Vance, Alabama.
The 12-stall version 4 in Sebastopol, California.
And number 535 in California, number 2558 in the USA, number 7056 in the world is the 16-stall version 4 in Modesto, California.
So wasn't that cool that Jasper and Brian covered the ABB and NASCAR partnership at Daytona last weekend?
Yeah, we have such an awesome team, don't we?
I'm so honored we get to work with them.
And I'm so happy I don't have to edit all the mistakes we make in our videos. So thank you to our amazing editing team.
And thank you to ABB and NASCAR for allowing to visit and cover the event.
Now, do you think when we started almost 10 years ago that we'd be reporting one day on NASCAR working on going electric? I mean, how much longer before those polluting gas cars will go electric, do you think?
I think the more their fans learn about the benefits of electric race cars and how much more exciting they are, the faster they'll transition.
So let us know what you think down below in the comments. Do you think it'll happen? When will it happen?
And before we go this week, a big thank you to our amazing Patreon patrons you see here.
Because without them, we would not have this team and this show.
See you next week.
Now you know.